clown9.py, just to test that. I'm going to hit enter now, and it's going to assume, hopefully, clown.txt if it all goes well. And yep, it read one line. Okay, so that part's working. I'll just leave that print statement in. The next thing I want to do is kind of a classic thing where we're going to go read a bunch of lines and then go horizontally across those lines in words. So I'm going to split that. WDS equals line dot split and print WDS. So I'll print that, and I'm going to save it and test it. I really love to test things over and over. There's the actual line. This file, clown.txt, only has one line, and it breaks it into words, and so I have those words. Let's just run it again with intro.txt. So this will have a lot of lines, line, lots of lines. Every line prints out the line and then prints out the words that we split it into. Okay, so now one of the things that I do here is I want to believe, now I sort of can believe everything from here up. Like, oh, it's going to open the file, it's going to read through the lines, and going to split them into words. And so then I'll just kind of behind it, I'll just say, okay, I'll just comment that out. Now I need another for loop for W in WDS. Now words is a Python list and has some number of words in it, 0 or 12 or whatever was on the line. And now I'm going to print out the word. Okay, and so now it will go through that horizontally. Now I'll just do clown.txt so that you see I'm not printing the line out. That's the words that have been parsed split from the line. And now we got this loop. Now, one of the things that's interesting is just to make sure that you're going through all the words. And I like a print statement here to know that W is going to successively take on literally all the words of this file. So if I comment this print statement out and I run it again, clown.txt, that for loop starting from here is every word in that file, which happens to only be one line. But now if I do the same thing for intro.txt, it's just going to go through the words. And in a sense, by nesting these two loops, we're going to hit all the lines. And that's a lot of stuff, but it hit all of the lines, all the words, and away we go. Okay, so here's where a dictionary comes in. I'm going to make a variable called di for dictionary, and I'm going to say give me a dictionary. Now dict is not something you can choose. That's saying that's defining the type of dictionary. Di is a variable that I chose. Okay, so the key thing to this dictionary is we're going to make a counter, and we're going to use W, the word, absorb, elegant, whatever, and we're going to use that as the index. So the simple thing to do is to say if W is in di, then we can say the dictionary sub the word, which is our key in the key value store of the dictionary, is equal to the value that we had before in that area, d sub W, plus 1. And if it's not in there, else di sub W equals 1. And I'm going to print print new. So every time we see a new word, it's going to say new. And I'm going to also then print W and the current value of the counter for W as it's going through. Now notice how far in I'm indented. This is all part of this inner loop. So this is the loop that's going to run every single word. Okay? And I'm going to run this first with clown, so it runs slowly. Okay, so we saw the was new, and the count is 1. Clown is new, count is 1. Ran is new, the count is 1. After is new, the count is 1. Now we saw the again, but now we made the count be 2. Let's print here. I'll say existing, so you can kind of see it. Now in the print, I'm printing this. Let's make it even a little more verbose. Print W, and then I will make it so it prints the word before and the count after, and then whether it's existing or new. So we'll put a lot of print statements in. Print statements are cheap. Okay, so now we see the word the. It's the first time we see it, and we set it to 1. We see the clown. It's the first time we see it, we set it to 1. We see ran, new, 1. Later on, we see the. It's already in. So existing means it was already in the dictionary. W as a key was already in the dictionary. Okay, and so that's why we added 1 to it. So the old value was 1, and then we added di sub the equals di sub the equals di sub the plus 1. W is the string the, the. That's what that string is. Okay, and so we've made it all the way through, and you see the in this one line occurred ultimately 7 times. So now I want to print out the contents of this dictionary at the very end of both loops. So I got to de-indent twice, and so that will give us the counts. And so this is what we get when it's all said and done. You know, the happened 7 times, but it just worked through its way through. Okay? So you got that. Now, this is a pretty verbose way of doing this, but I did it sort of the slow way to show that there are 2 situations. If it's already there, you increment it, and if it's not there, you set it to 1, effectively inserting it, right? So you insert it and set it to 1 with this di sub the equals 1. Okay? But let's get a little less verbose here, get rid of some of these print statements because we kind of covered all that. Get rid of this line and go back to printing W and DIW at the end. We'll leave that one in. So what I want to do is I want to look at this bit of code right here, this if W in DI else. We do this so much with dictionaries that there is an easy mechanism to do this that combines these 4 lines into a single kind of contraction. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to print, let's put 2 stars out, then the word and di.get of the word, comma, negative 99. Okay, and so this di.get of the word is the important part. The way it is this is a dictionary. .get says in its first parameter is the key to look up, which is word like the or fell or clown or whatever, and 99 is the default value that we get if the key doesn't exist. So this is in effect an if then else, right? This little di.get w99 negative 99 is, you know, if it's in there, do one thing. If it's not in there, do something else. Okay, so let me show you how this works, and you'll see that the 99 will happen when okay. So the first time we see the, get returns 99. Right? So let's move it over here. The first time we see the is not in the dictionary. So this di.get of the word the in the dictionary gives us back the negative 99. Okay? And this still is working, and so the is 1, clown is whatever, but away we go. Okay? Let's do it this way. Let me comment this out. Let me comment this one out and run it again so it's a little clearer what's going on. Okay. So the first time we see the is not in the dictionary. The first time we see clown, and we know it's negative 99. But here we asked for it, and the is 1 because we'd seen it before. And so that's just this get mechanism allows us to get the new value, or get a value out if the key exists, and specify a default if it's not there. So I'm going to go old count equals di.get w, comma 0. So instead of using 99 here, I'm going to just get rid of all this. Is what I'm saying is look up in this dictionary. Get is a function that's